Now live.
All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with the Hobsons. Today, I'm going to make a chickpea curry with couscous on the side. It's a really quick recipe. It's really easy. So we're going to whip that up probably in about 20 minutes, I'd say 20 to 30 minutes. It'll probably be done in 15 minutes, but if we want to wait till the end till it's fully cooked, then it would probably take about 20, 30 minutes. All of our recipes are now on YouTube, well, the two of them, and obviously this one will be added to it straight after this as well. So this is really, really simple. Let's just go through the rest of the ingredients really quickly. Here I've got some onions, ginger, and garlic. I've got some chickpeas. These are canned chickpeas, and I've just strained them all and got rid of all the juice that was around it. I've also got some couscous. That's 1 cup of couscous. That's you can make as much as you need for your family, but I'm just making for 2 people. And then I've got some canned tomatoes, some parsley, some mixed spices, chili flakes, and salt, obviously, some lemon. We've also got some vegetable oil, curry powder, and tomato puree. I didn't actually have that in the recipe list because it's sort of, it's one of those things that you can add or not have. It's up to you completely. I like it because it makes the sauce a little bit richer, but you could cook without it if you didn't have any of this at home. I think these are all like very basic things you'd have in your pantry anyway. Oh, and I forgot to add, I've also got some parsley just to add to the couscous at the end. So let's get straight into it. So straight away, I'm going to add, I've got 60 mils of vegetable oil here, but I'm not going to add it all straight away. I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. I'll leave a little bit more for the end in case I want to add a little bit more oil. And my pan is already heating. It was on a high heat, and I've just turned it down so that it didn't burn, but I'll probably put it back up to the high again. And then from there, we're going to add our curry powder. So you need to make this to suit your taste. So I've got 3 tablespoons of curry powder here. I'm going to add probably about 2 of that and leave the last bit for afterwards in case I want to add a little bit more. And then straight into there, I'm also going to add the mixed spice. That's one tablespoon. But again, I'm just going to add a little bit and then leave the remainder for the end if I want to add some more to taste.
What are we making for people that have just joined?
Okay, for those who have just joined, we're making a chickpea curry. This is completely vegan and or vegetarian, however you want to make it. If you use some other oil, I don't know what other oil you'd use that has. No, I think it's completely vegan. You can add meat to it, but it's really good without it. Like all the spices in it is amazing, so it works really well.
So it's meat-free, but it's not taste-free.
Absolutely. So straight in there, we've got the oil, we've got vegetable oil, we've got curry powder, and we've got mixed spice. And I'm going to throw in our onions, garlic, and ginger. That's all been chopped up as well. Oh, I love that sound.
Helen says hello.
Hi, Helen. How are you doing?
And Mariana says, is the couscous instead of rice?
Yes, I'm doing it instead of rice, but you can do what you want. I actually put a few options. Just heat your heat to a medium heat so that it doesn't burn. You can use anything you want. So you could use rice. I think I put this in my story last night. You could use rice and maybe add some coconut milk because those flavors will be really complementary. Or you could also use rice and just finely chop up your ginger. Like I chop mine into like tiny little slices, and I put it in the rice. And then that makes it really fragrant. But you can take the ginger out when you finish cooking your rice, but I just kept it in. It's absolutely delicious. So you don't have to use couscous if you don't have couscous. I think most people would have rice in their cupboard. Use that and a little bit, maybe 200 mils of canned coconut milk to substitute some of the water that you're going to put into your rice. So that's cooking really nicely. And while that's cooking, I might add just the rest of my oil now.
How much oil?
We use 60 mils of oil.
At
the start, yeah. So I've added all 60 mils now. And because I've added all 60 mils, I'm actually going to finish off with my spices as well. So it was just 1 tablespoon of mixed spice and 3 tablespoons of curry powder, but I added it slowly because I wasn't sure how much I actually wanted in there. But just do it to your taste. So look at that, it's so beautiful, and it's really, really fragrant as well.
Grace says, hey.
Hey Grace, how you doing? Making any more TikToks? We're waiting for them. So that's all that. And you can actually try that to see if you're happy with the taste of it. So I just put a little bit. That is so good. Then add your salt to taste. I like salt, anyone who's been watching me cook.
So you got to taste it as you go along.
Yeah, well, you should. I think you should taste all your food as you're going along. So salt, and then my chili flakes. Again, add the chili as you like. You don't have to add chili flakes. In fact, it can be, you can make it not hot. But I think, chili is you just need to have chili in a curry. So let all that cook. It's just on a medium heat. Oh, my sister actually told me to stop doing that. She says my dad does it and it makes her anxious. So she told me to stop cooking like that. So I'm going to try not to bang the spoon on the side of the pot anymore, but I can't help it. It's just a reaction.
So what are we making again?
So we're making a vegan chickpea curry.
Yep.
So these are my chickpeas. It's a 400-gram can of chickpeas, and I've just drained all the water that was in it, and that's just what's left, the chickpeas. So what I'm going to do, you've cooked your spices for a little bit. I'm actually going to, now I'd add the chickpeas so that we can coat them in all the spices, yeah? So just coat that sizzle was coming from the little bit of water that was in the bowl with the chickpeas, so don't worry about that. Just make sure that every chickpea is well coated. Look at that, babe. This is such a healthy meal, and it's such a quick curry to cook up. Like, you can whip this up in 15 minutes, and then you just leave it on the stove.
With 3 kids.
With 3 kids.
Even 4.
Sorry?
Even 4.
Even 4, yeah. Even 6. And obviously this will serve 3 adults, I think, comfortably.
You kept on hiding.
No, I've put it, oh, sorry, I did it again.
Sorry.
Medium heat. So you can see that it's a little bit dry.
That can be your thing, like Netflix. You know?
Yeah. You can see it's a little bit dry, so you could add more oil to that, but I'm just gonna wait because I can still see a bit of oil around it, so I don't want to add too much oil, because I don't want it drowning in oil at the end. And if you know anything about Ghanaian cooking, we use a lot of oil, so naturally I tend to use too much oil, so that's why I actually started measuring out my oil. So
You're talking about Ghana, the home of jollof.
The home of jollof, yeah. So that's why I started measuring my oil, just to try and stop myself from using too much. That is, I have to do it because it needs to get off. So that is beautiful. That looks so good. It's just, so let's just go through that really, really quickly for anyone who's joined last minute. All that is vegetable oil with 3 tablespoons of curry powder, a tablespoon of mixed spice, some onions, some garlic, and some ginger. That's it. That's all we've got in there. We've added a little bit of salt and chili flakes, but that is to your discretion. If you like salt, go crazy on salt. I think every cooking should always have salt. I don't know why people would cook without salt.
It maybe have a heart condition.
Maybe, but you can still add salt. Salt is really good for getting the flavors out. So you can still add just a little bit of salt. That is cooking so nicely. Look at that, guys.
But you can use low salt as well.
Low sodium salt. Sounds kind of counterproductive to be low sodium salt.
Just to get the food out to everyone.
Yeah, true. Or you could not add any salt and just let everyone add their own salt at the end. Okay, so at this point...
So I mean salted.
At this point, I'm going to add some tomato puree. So you don't have to add tomato puree. I didn't actually put it into the recipe.
Yeah.
I just want to add it. I didn't put it in because I think it's what do you call it? It's optional. Okay. I like it because it adds, it makes the tomato sauce, the curry, a bit richer.
Right.
So I'd add about a tablespoon.
So if you don't add this, it will still be alright.
If you don't add this, it'll be perfectly fine.
Different flavour.
Yeah, it's not even the flavour. It's just the richness of the tomatoes. Yeah, actually, I guess that's flavour. Just makes the curry just that little bit richer. And tomato puree is something that keeps for ages. So and it costs like 30 pence at Aldi. So it's worth always having it. When you make your bolognese from scratch, it's always good to add a few tablespoons of tomato puree. It'll just make it really rich. So guys, this is...
So we've got the chickpeas, we've got curry powder. We've got, now got tomato puree.
Yep.
And you've salt to discretion, right?
Yes, and chili flakes. And I used ginger, garlic, and onions. So now we're going to add our 400 mils of, I think it's 400 mils of chopped tomatoes.
400 grams.
400 grams of chopped tomatoes. Use chopped tomatoes. Don't use whole tomatoes.
Because
The whole tomatoes, then you're going to have to get your hands dirty. And just a tiny bit of water to get that rest of that tomato out of it. Whole tomatoes, you're going to have to get your hands dirty to crush all the tomatoes.
Right.
This chopped is already done for you. So that's
Clean
the way
hands.
to go. Clean hands,
Pure
pure heart.
good graces on you.
Yep, absolutely. And that is basically your whole curry done.
Nice.
So I'm going to turn that up.
This is for 2 or 3 people, right?
I think 3 people, like unless you're really greedy, 3 people could share that. I'm going to cover that up and let that cook for a little while
On
high heat. Just watch it. It just depends on your pot.
Yep.
So if your pot burns at the bottom easily, just be careful. Just watch it. And then here, while that's cooking, I'm going to make my couscous. Couscous is really quick, really easy, really delicious. It comes in a box, and then I've just measured out 1 cup there. I think that should be enough for Izzy and I. So 1 cup of couscous, just like that. I'm actually going to use this bowl to measure 1 cup of water as well.
Okay.
So I've already boiled the kettle.
Pre-boiled.
So I'm just going to add
How much water?
same. So it was about a cup. It was about this bowl
Okay.
So I'm just gonna use this-
couscous, 1 cup of water.
of water. Yeah. So put that all in there.
Elise says hello.
Hey. So with couscous, what I love about couscous is how what do you call it? Versatile it is. You can make couscous completely plain. Add a touch of salt to your couscous. You can make couscous completely plain. Like you could just do this, salt, water, and your couscous, and you're done. Or you can add 1,000,001 different variations. You could roast veggies in the oven. Just
then
cover that
cover
up.
it, eh?
Yeah, you need to cover up your couscous. And just leave that there.
So this is for 2 people again.
Yeah,
So
about
then
2 people, maybe 3.
1 cup of couscous,
1
1
cup
cup
of couscous, yeah.
water.
So with couscous, like I was saying, there are so many variations of couscous. It is one of the easiest and most delicious things to make as a side for
Even
your curries.
I make it.
Even Izzy makes couscous, and anyone who knows Izzy knows he doesn't cook. But you make a really good breakfast. You make a really meaningful English breakfast. So yeah, you can keep it really, really simple and just do that water and salt, and that's it. To add a little bit, to jazz it up a little bit, you could actually do stock and salt. So you could do a vegetable stock, so it'd still be vegan, I believe. Or you could completely jazz it up and chop up heaps of veg and then roast them in the oven. And then once your couscous is cooked, just with your water and your salt, you can just throw the couscous in with the mixed veg, with the roast veggies.
Okay.
And that's a whole meal in itself.
Nice.
Again, vegetarian. Or while you're roasting the veggies, you can also roast some chicken breast cut up into pieces. Did you want to see what's going on in here? See, I actually think we had enough oil. I might add a touch more, but you can see the oil coming to the top again.
Okay. So yeah, if you're gonna add meat, you'd add chicken.
Yeah, well, I would add chicken. So
Or
you can
beef.
get some chicken. I would add chicken because you can chop up the chicken,
Yep.
marinate it, or add some spice rub to it, and then throw it in the oven with your mixed veg. And then once you're finished, throw that into your couscous, and that's a whole meal. And then you can garnish it with some fresh parsley, a bit of lemon juice, whatever you want to do. Bit of white wine vinegar and some balsamic vinegar, whatever you want to do, whatever taste suits you, you can just add that. So that curry is very well, look at that, that's almost ready. Look how rich that looks when you add the tomato paste. Like if I hadn't added tomato paste, this would still be quite, it would still be red obviously, but it'd be quite watery as well. So this will cook so quickly.
It's been like 10 minutes, right?
When did we start? Yeah, it's been about 10 minutes since we started. So quick. And that will be ready very, very soon. I'm going to try just a little bit of it, just to see how we're going on the salt. Because, so. I might add just a little bit more salt. And that's not too hot at all. So I might add a little bit of chili flakes, tiny bit of salt, mix that up. Honestly, the spice, the ratio of spices we added to that is perfect. Remember, your couscous is already cooked, so you're not cooking this for the. I'm sorry, not your couscous, your chickpeas. They're already cooked, so you're not cooking it for your chickpeas. You're cooking it to cook the canned tomatoes, because that's where you really that's raw, obviously.
So you're cooking it out, so you're trying to make it thick rather than like watery.
Yeah, because I don't like watery stews.
Mariana says if you were doing this with chicken, when would you add it?
So I would have added the chicken when we added the chickpeas. So fry your spices, so add your oil, add your spices, add your salt, chili flakes, and then throw in your chicken and your chickpeas or whatever else, or whatever veggies you're cooking, and then add the tomato. Remember, with chicken, it's better to cook it, like throw it in raw. Don't cook your chicken separately, then throw it in. Actually throw all the chicken in raw and let this process of heating through the curry cook the chicken, because it'll be much juicier and much tastier. So I'm just going to check on my couscous really quickly. That is ready. Look how quick that was. That's perfect couscous. It's all ready. There's not a lot left to do with that. Sorry.
Just eat it.
For those who don't like that noise. So you just mix that up a little bit. And if it's a little bit
This is
wet,
just water, right?
this is just water and salt. If it's a little bit wet, like you can see, let me just try this a little. Oh no, that's perfect. I thought that might be a little bit wet, but it's not. That is perfect couscous. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 cup of water, 1 cup of couscous. 2 cups of water, 2 cups of couscous. So that is perfect. So while we let our curry cook, I've just turned it down because it's almost ready. I don't want it to burn. So I've turned it right down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the parsley. So throw in your parsley.
Well, all of it.
Yeah, why not? Might as well.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's a special parsley day. We get to throw in all the parsley. So throw in your parsley, give that a bit of a mix. And then finally, just to add a freshness to it, I'm going to squeeze the juice of half a lemon to that as well. So I've already cut it in half and I've picked out the seeds. So just squeeze some lemon into that. Again, this is up to you completely. If you like it, do it. I love the freshness of lemon in couscous.
So this is real like Middle Eastern.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd use parsley though. Yeah, they would actually. Yeah, they would. Parsley is and they use a lot of like lemon for freshness. So that's our couscous all ready. So I'm just gonna put this aside. Sorry, babe, ruining your shot.
This is 1 cup of couscous, 1 cup of water.
That's it.
Boiled.
Yep, boiling water. That's it. And then some.
You could use rice instead.
You could. You absolutely could.
It's like quarantine times.
So yeah, use whatever you've got in your pantry. That's our curry. That is literally ready. We're finished. That's how quick it was. So I'm gonna dish up, and then you guys can see something else you could do. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out. Something else you could do is actually make some flatbread, because that's so quick and easy as well. Again, that's just stuff that you probably have in your house. You can whip up a few slices. What do you call them? Slices. A few pieces of flatbread, and add that on the side.
So in here we've got curry powder, we've got tomato puree, we've got a can of
chickpeas.
Yeah, and a can of tomato.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
So I'm gonna dish up here, babe. You can keep that on the.
And then gotta tell everybody where we can find the.
So the recipe, obviously, all the ingredients and what it's gonna look like at the end will be on Cooking with the Hobsons, but the actual method will be on our YouTube channel. So there we have some couscous dished up. This is Izzy's. And then just add some curry to that.
So have you tried this before and then you just changed it up to make your own recipe, or have you followed something?
My sister taught me how to make this.
Which one?
Lucy. I'm pretty sure it was Lucy. Yeah, Lucy taught me how to make this. So simple.
Ben says, have you sent your MasterChef Australia application in?
Have you seen how they cook? No way.
So yeah, Lucy's...
You know, funny enough, me and my friend Carmen were actually going to go onto MasterChef 1 year because we just thought we were so good at cooking. Carmen is actually good at cooking, but I'm a little bit like, I like cooking, but I like it simple and quick, which I don't think is really MasterChef the way they do things. They like it, you know, extravagant and 20 hours slow cooked duck breasts and stuff like that. So just to finish it off, I've got some Greek style yogurt, just natural yogurt, and I'm just gonna add just a dollop of that on top. And this is actually a really great option as well if you've got kids and they might find the chili a little bit hot. So guys, that is it.
You telling us you got it from Lucy, right?
Yes, that is it. That is a quick and easy vegan curry with lemon parsley couscous. And I've just added a little bit of natural yogurt on top to in case it's a little bit too hot. And also for good flavor, you could also grate in some cucumber into your natural yogurt and then add that on top for another level of freshness.
There's more. There's always more.
There's always more. There's so many options with this curry because you can just do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Like I said before, doesn't have to be chickpeas. I've done this curry with, I think I used cauliflower and carrots and sweet potato. And then the other alternative option you could do is to add coconut milk in at the very end, just to give it that really creamy taste as well. All right.
Okay. So where do we find out more?
That's it. So obviously to find the recipe and the way it looks, so the ingredients and the way it looks, jump onto @Cooking with the Hobsons. But to find the method, jump onto our YouTube channel, which is also Cooking with the Hobsons.
Okay, and then tag us in
your pictures.
Because people start making the food already, which is amazing,
so
right?
Exciting. Yeah.
What's the tag?
@Cooking with the Hobsons.
Just to get in there one more time.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. See ya. Perfect.